nursing is a social justice, advocating for people, irrespective of their color, irrespective of their situations. You are supposed to make sure that they get the best care that they sign up for. And sometimes we may think that no one is looking, no one is appreciating us. I would say that do it to the best of your knowledge.
Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Okran, welcoming you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Today we continue changing narratives, retelling the story of this beautiful country called Ghana. We are on the lookout for incredible people doing amazing things in different fields of endeavor. And we just found the perfect candidate. Naomi Oyoe Ohene-Oti is the head of nursing at the National Radiotherapy, Oncology and Nuclear Medicine Center at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. But really, what has caught the world's attention is something that happened in May because she won the Aster Guardians Global Nursing Award for the year 2025. And she's right here in the studios with me. Naomi, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be celebrated across the world?
Hello to your listeners. It's quite humbling. Sometimes you're looking at being on the world stage with, brilliant minds and listen to their stories and the impact they've made over the years in their careers, and then you coming out to stand tall. That's quite, there's a humbling feeling. I might say this award goes to in terms of the resilience and the dedication of nurses across Ghana and beyond, and also those breaking their back, irrespective of their limitations that they have, to be able to improve health outcomes.
Right.
So it's quite a humbling feeling.
So the word for you is humbling.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Aster 2025 Aster Guardians Global Nursing Award. What exactly is it?
Okay. So it's an award instituted to appreciate nurses who have gone beyond their scope, irrespective of their limitations, to be able to improve health outcomes. They said nurses are the unsung heroes in healthcare, but they're also the soul of the health system, or the pillars of the health system. And most of the time, they're always behind the scenes. So there's this institution, a conglomerate in the UAE, who thought it wise that there are other health professionals who, when they talk about health system, they are the first and foremost people that we see. But he thinks that nurses are the heartbeat of, or the soul of the health system. And if they get it right, the health system gets it right. So there's a need to. And for so long, they have not been really appreciated in the forefront or the global space to be able to see what they are doing, what other nurses are doing to transform health outcomes. So they instituted this award to be able to appreciate nurses who have done beyond what people, the space, the limitations that people usually will put them in. And they instituted this award. And this award is in partnership with the International Council of Nurses and the WHO. Yeah.
So does one have to apply? Is it the work is shortlisted?
Yes.
You submit an entry.
One has to apply. Then they're looking at about 5 areas that you have made some impact in, and either nursing practice, nursing education, nursing leadership, community service, and then research and innovation. There are 5 areas, but one is supposed to, is allowed to pitch for one area and then add additional to
Practice,
so I did 3.
education, service, community,
and then research. Innovation.
Which ones did you go for?
So I went for nursing leadership, and then nursing education and research.
Wow. So how did you get to know how many other people applied for the award?
It was more of when we were announced as the finalist. That's when there was one morning, it's a very rigorous form of application. Just the application itself, the first from preaching what you really have done and the impact it has made. So it's a whole, so I spent a lot of time, have to do the application. Then you need to send in your CV, your academics, what you've done, and so forth. And later, then they write back. Maybe if at least you are up and coming, then they write back to you that, okay, then show forth whatever you've said you've done. We want to see evidence. So this was done by, a whole group was done by the audit firm, Ernst & Young. They took up in terms of verifying all that you've said that you've done. So it was a back and forth. We wanted, so it helped me to know that it's very important that we document everything that we do.
I love that.
We do. So God being so good, I had a lot of documents to show forth what I said I have done. So it was a very tiring. You send in one and they said, no, they are bringing in the same thing. And it also helped me to emotional intelligence, because there are certain things that you've sent already, but they again come back. So I'm way at dawn, early morning.
Was it your first time applying?
I think, 2022, a colleague, I've not heard about it before, and then a colleague in Kenya said that, there's this award, and looking at the works that I've done, both in Ghana and in Africa internationally, she thinks I deserve. So she nominated me. But I think I didn't read the terms and conditions of the award. Apparently, they have to contact you and you should be available. And I had a first contact. I didn't really know it was them. Most of them were Indians. So in terms of their donation and things. And I banked with one of the banks that had their their roots call center. So I had issued with my card. So I thought they are calling me back. So we were having a discussion around my card. And that's it. So I was then waiting for a call, and I had to travel. I tried roaming, but all contacts were not. It was only through WhatsApp. So that saw that. And later when I came back, reading the terms and conditions, so that when they contacted me, I know able to out.
So maybe it wasn't your time.
Yes, you may say so. So in just last year, December, we were talking and said, the award, she's seen the award. I was also said, she's going to nominate me again. And then I said, all right, the same person. So then,
God bless Kenya.
Yes. So she did, and then that's this history that's made. And initially, it was a bit. I was giving up because it's a lot of things that you had to do. Staying up late, I said, okay. One professor of mine, I said, there's nothing wrong in just applying, and when you don't get it, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just at least it has also given you opportunity to do. So I just did it, and that's. Then when I saw them coming back to me, so that resilient not to really relent, because sometimes it can be a bit annoying, being stimulated, and give up. But I just was calm when they wanted. I can even go back. Okay, can I do it around this time? I'm at work. I said, you can. So there was this very calm. They were very calm even in their conversation. Sometimes they may send to you, look at that a bit tough or rough.
Do you think they were testing you to see how you
think,
respond under pressure?
Yes. It got to a time I said, no, these people are pushing me to the wall for you to break down. But and there was this calmness that comes, and said the Holy Spirit leads us to us as of what to do when, even in terms of troubles. So I just sat down, and it just dropped into me that just relax. They are pushing you to the wall. So I just go back in a calm, and I was like, can I please send this at my earliest most time? Oh, why not?
Right.
Then go that kind of
Tell
thing.
me, do you find yourself, you mentioned the Holy Spirit guiding you, do you find yourself applying the principles of your faith in your practice?
I work in a space, there's a lot of emotional draining. Sometimes you see yourself in your patient. We are supposed, it's a duty to care, and then you either will see as an elderly person, your mom or your dad, or you yourself, your peer. And we also have children and that kind of thing. So day and day are people that you meet. Sometimes could be, depending on the stage they are coming, it's a bit emotionally draining, and you need to also give them hope. In end of life or palliative or supportive care, sometimes they said you have to tell them the reality. But apart from that, you have to cultural context. We are Africans, and we also a lot of faith, so you get God. Almost every person you meet will believe in God. So you said they will ask you, will I survive? Will say God will do it. We are just here. We are just a tool. This is what we have learned, and what are the outcomes. But we'll do our best to do what we need to do. And faith, the resilience, having the hope that you make it also count. So
Do patients sometimes ask you to pray for them?
oh yes, sometimes not just they asking you, you are moved, you're attached to do that. And they say, who takes care of the carer? Sometimes when you go home, there's that, will I say, burden, heaviness on your heart on what the patient is going through. I remember in my earlier days, when I go on leave, I didn't want to come back to the department.
It's a tough job, eh?
Yes, in Asia. But the whole issue was, as you said, you see yourself in them, and it's quite... And the type, when I'm dealing with my patient, I take a lot of things into account, even their stage. A lot of I wouldn't say information about. I really want to know every stage that they are, what is happening. It helps them to help also when they are not coming in. You are able to help them to navigate their path. You call in to find out what is happening so that you help them, because it's a very tough journey. It's not an easy road because they have to meet a whole lot of other specialists. So you help them through the journey. So, but as time went on, I grew some form of resilience, and not in a negative way reach, but how to be able to cope and be able to support them in that space.
You called nurses the unsung heroes and the pillars, I'm borrowing your words, of the medical practice or the healthcare system. Interestingly, in interacting with people, you would hear people talk about incredible nurses that help them so much. And you also hear people talk about bad experiences with some nurses, I guess, as with every profession. But now that we get to have you on the set, help us to know what makes a good nurse.
I would say that, as I've said before, they are the pillars in the health system, and they do a whole lot. They form majority of the health care professionals. And I would say that in looking at the Government of Ghana flagship program, this CHIP compound, which we've all heard about, it's been led by, other grassroots health centers. They have been led by nurses to be able to give, and the whole program was to help in the universal health coverage, giving access to health care at the rural areas. And so nurses are maybe the first point of call, or even the last point of call, depending on where you are assessing the health service. So they are really very important, and they offer almost about 80% of healthcare needs to a patient and the population. I would say that in terms of their roles, right from direct patient care, they are advocates. They drive our health education programs. Even quality improvement in terms of the safety of the environment is the nurses, infection prevention controls. They are driving the health education programs. The another form in terms of the quality improvement, even sometimes they do clinical audits of the nursing profession to be able to make sure that standards are paired with what is happening. Then if there's a need to correct them.
Let me push you for three things. If a young nurse just joined the profession, met you on the corridor, and said, "Wow, what a blessing, madam! Tell me, what three things must I do to become as good as you?" What would they be? Number one,
compassion.
Number two,
I'd say having the love. That's self-compassion and passion, and then skills.
Compassion, skills,
and then skills. Then other thing I would say faith for me. Faith, because having that drive and the compassion will be able to help you always on your toes to be able to end. But before you also deliver, you need the skills. Capacity, skills to be able to deliver. Then faith.
Interesting combination. Yes. Compassion, skills, and faith. Let me take you a quote from Virginia Henderson, who says, "The nurse is temporarily the consciousness of the unconscious. The love of life for the suicidal. The leg of the amputee. The eyes of the newly blind. The means of locomotion for the infant. Knowledge and confidence for the young mother. And the voice for those who are too weak to speak." Does it feel like ringing the bell and say, "Yes, here we come"?
So you could see that all their roles have been spelled in to the end, even to the end of life.
Yeah.
Right from beginning of life to the end of life. Nurses are very pivotal in all that.
How did you end up here? Did you always want to be a nurse?
Right. Thank you. I think growing up, I had some, not far near mentors, people that I saw within the profession. There was, I lived in Ghana Atomic Energy Community, the quarters, and there were some nurses, good nurses, who, I would say, Mrs. Mensah for one, and then Mrs. Jakata. Mrs. Mensah, whilst I was young, I could see her. She will, I say, as I said, she was the community. I just want the right of word to use. Anytime people have issues, health issues, and they go to her, she is able to solve them. That's as I was growing up. That's what I saw. And I also, even at dawn, when she's called upon, she goes all out and then provide. And you won't see her being annoyed or something, calling her that dawn to be able to. And she walks all the way. We will take you to their community clinic and do the needful. If it's beyond her, she will arrange for transport. Then they will take you to the nearest hospital. So, and I also wanted to help humanity. That was something that, so you could see among my colleagues, even if someone is hurt, I'll be the first person to be around to making sure that the person is taken care of if there's a need for the person to go to the hospital. And then as we coming up among family, if someone has to go to the hospital, I want to accompany the person to go. So looking at how these persons were rendering care to the people around them. And when they speak, people listen, that kind of thing. So you really wanted to be that kind of person. Then when I think she left and then there was another nurse, we were also staying adjacent to the people. So it was that continuity. So I went to people were saying, okay, if you want to be a nurse, then you have to go to the training college. Then my dad has been one of my, what I say, backbone in terms of education. Jerry, you're my cheerleader. And then he always said that he believes in women empowerment, women going to the highest that they can. So he will usually refer me to some of the nurses, not nurses, the would like say professionals within the Ghana Atomic Energy, the women, the professors.
Was he working there?
Yeah, he was working there. My parents were peasants. My dad was a security officer, and my mom was a trader then. So he said, "You see this woman, and looking at, I mean, the space that they have, and they are leading the people. That's what I want you to be." He didn't get the opportunity, but he wanted his children to go as far that they want. And he said that the best thing you can give to your children, apart from God, is education. So he got admission to University of Ghana, but parents couldn't afford. So after secondary school, that was it. But he made sure all the children had at least a tertiary education. So when I said I wanted to do nursing, he said, I was asking, do they do it? And I invest, I want to go to them. So if they don't do it, then I have to change what I really want. They said, oh, they do it. And it's at University of Ghana. So in my application, first choice nursing, second choice nursing, third choice nursing.
Wow.
And I didn't want to just be as grown, just, I don't really want to use the word ordinary, but just a nurse. Really wanted to impact, to go to the highest level I can, and not just to live practice. People adding knowledge may want to live practice and just go to teach. I also want to impact within the practice. Even as I acquire knowledge, we have to, is evidence-based, translate or transform whatever we're doing with the evidences, the research that we're doing to be able to impact into our care. We need to stand tall at the bedside. That's what I really wanted to.
So for somebody who grew up wanting to become a nurse and not becoming a nurse because something else you wanted did not happen, for somebody who chose nursing first choice, second choice, and third choice, would it be for you like a calling?
You may say so. Yes, yeah. So people would say that I had opportunities to leave. I'm not saying those who left the shores are not going according to their calling, and so. But there was this, as we're going, maybe especially in my area, there was this burden of maybe mentoring, try to push forth, what I say, oncology nursing as a specialty. Really want to let it sink in, not just in Ghana, in Africa, because there was a big gap where, we have, what I'd say, as in the 50s when surgeries happened and things, nursing, there was no oncology nurses. So nurses we had general nurses who could maybe take care of someone who had surgery, and then fast forward maybe when other treatment came on, chemotherapy, the nurses were regulated, maybe some symptom management, but not maybe when the person's at the last stage. But I think in the 90s, getting to the late 90s, there was a training for they had trained 3 oncologists when they were trying to set up the cancer center. And one was in Accra, and they do train the trainer. But still, I saw a big gap. That was when I started. I started working in the cancer center. And there was a turning point. I had the opportunity to go to Mayo Clinic in Rochester in the US, and I saw the varied lineup of nurses in the specialty in oncology nursing. So, okay, really, because that was when I really wanted to give more to my patient. And I saw that every cancer patient deserved to be taken care of by a specialized nurse. And that was a turning point for me. And coming and seeing a gap between, we are over that time, maybe we were around 20, I said around 2001, maybe 20 million, 25 million, that being taken care of just about 3 nurses who were special. That wasn't enough. And over the years, that has been the same across other African countries. So anytime I have the opportunity of standing in, whether being global, whether in Ghana or in Africa, I was trying to drum in that every patient deserves to be taken care of by a specialized nurse. And there's a need for us to recognize cancer nursing as a specialty. So those are some of the things that, yes.
This is Springboard, your virtual university, and the voice you are hearing, articulating, advocating, and sharing the story of her life is the voice of Naomi Oyoe Ohene-Oti, the winner this year of the Aster Guardians Global Nursing Award. Made all of us proud at Dubai with that award, and it sits right here beautifully in the studio. So this one is the main award. I can see gold standing tall and looking nice. And then what is the second one?
So this one was when the finalists became part of the top 10 finalists. So it was also awarded at the same ceremony. So there are two sessions.
So there was first the top 10.
Top 10.
And you know that one of you will be the overall winner.
Yes.
When we come back from the break, we'll talk about that point where we narrowed down to 10 and whether you prayed or you fasted or you believed and just the emotional journey from even the application to the top 10, but from the top 10 to the ultimate award. We'll also talk about your advocacy and then your work across Africa. And then maybe inspire a couple of young nurses who are saying, wow, she's lucky. And see how we can go beyond luck to share a few things with them,
right,
so we can produce more now you from La. Too powerful. Right. This is Springboard Virtual University, brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Growth Program. We will go for a brief break. When we come back, let's unpack the story even more. Please don't go away.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise, your advantage.
something new every week and be inspired by innovations, impact, and success stories of individuals making strides in the agricultural, agribusiness, technical, and vocational skill sectors on Ghana Grows Ejuma with Araba Kumsin and Yabitha. Join us this and every Thursday on Facebook at 7 p.m. at Ghana Grows, also at Comfort Okran A and at Albert N.E. Okran. On Fridays at 4 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM and on Sundays at 5:45 p.m. on TV3. Ghana Grows is an initiative of MasterCard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. If you are a young person and you want to be a part of our various interventions, call or WhatsApp Ghana Grows call center on 0308 255 775. Follow us on all our social media handles. Ghana Grows Ejuma. Hope Day.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this incredible conversation with Naomi Ohene-Oti, celebrated award winner and the woman leading the drive for a transformation in the field of oncology. And she says that really her drive is that every patient, and by extension every cancer patient, needs to be taken care of by a specialist who understands, knows, feels, and breathes what it means to deal with a patient with peculiar needs. And that is what she's been saying in the first part of the program. We'll come back to her for some more detail, but Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Grows Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard. Talking about enterprise, our enterprise advantage tip for the day focuses on what to do when you lose your loved one at home. And I'm sure that immediately Madam Naomi starts reflecting on patients and their families and their challenges. But here's what enterprise is saying. The question is, what should I do if I lose a loved one at home? And the answer is, the first person to contact is the deceased medical doctor and the Ghana Police Service. If the cause is unknown, the police would have to be informed to issue the coroner's papers signed by a magistrate which authorizes an autopsy to be done. You can then contact Transitions to guide you through the process. This tip is brought to you by the Enterprise Group, and the number to call 030-263-4777. Email info@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise, your advantage. The Ghana Grows Program is a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard that aims to inspire young people, especially young women aged between 15 and 35, to explore dignified and fulfilling work in agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. And there is a customer service number you can call or WhatsApp at any time for details about programming, about opportunities, about developments in the sectors chosen, and about just finding out what young people are doing and how you can be a part of it. That number is 030-8255-775. 8255-775. Talking about that, let me remind you of the Springboard channel, where you can find past editions of the Virtual University and all our other broadcasts and programming, just so you can be in touch always with what we are doing at Springboard. Just hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we go live with any of our broadcasts. Our little contribution to entrepreneurship is just to spotlight one business that is doing something nice and giving them some props here on the show every single week. And so this week, the business that we are highlighting is Kodu Technologies, a Ghanaian social enterprise that produces affordable, biodegradable sanitary pads made from banana and plantain fibers. Listen, this agribusiness thing is getting now just amazing. So from banana and plantain fibers, they are producing sanitary pads so that young women can get access and can get it affordable and also available. This empowers the young women, creates jobs for people, and supports environmental sustainability. So this is our contribution to promoting their business so that you can buy from them and they can help more young women. The number 020-611-1619. Kodu Technologies is a producer of affordable, biodegradable sanitary pads. Now, what do you think of this?
It's a very laudable idea, and since it's a biodegradable in terms of it's not too artificial, and then it also helps in a climate, at least maintaining the environment. And this is now something that is now on the space in terms of climate change and what all human, activities are doing or happening to and affecting our environment.
Right.
And in the long run, which is going to also affect the climate and things. So I think it's a very good idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you just joined us and asking, who is Naomi Oyoe Ohene-Oti? So she is the head of nursing at the National Radiotherapy, Oncology and Nuclear Medicine Center at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And she also is the winner of the Aster Guardians Global Nursing Award for this year. And it was on the May the 26th, 2025. Earlier when I was asking how competitive was this award, I pulled out the data, and it says that Naomi emerged as a top winner from over 100,000 entries across 199 countries. I'll just throw in one more country to make it 200, but 199 countries and over 100,000 entries, and the award was $250,000. And then this lovely trophy that is proudly displayed here in the studios. I should take a picture with this, just too nice. So tell me, Naomi, earlier on I was asking you, at the point where it was narrowed down to 10 finalists and you were given this amazing plaque, did you feel that I have arrived? Or you told yourself, Charlie, if I've come this far, let's still gun for the highest?
Yeah, so once, I think on just around, I think May 8th, 9th, there, we're supposed to have a meeting, and I was a bit checking, what is this? Is another step? Because the demands of the application was quite robust and demanding. So they said you are supposed to be having another meeting.
Virtual?
Virtual meeting. And it was going to be around 5:30 a.m. because of the time difference. So what's again, so how it was pounding, the fear of unknown, what is going to happen? What are they going to ask me? What do I have to prepare for? And then just at exactly, so I opened up it was on Teams, so I was waiting 10 minutes before time. That's part also leadership, going.
Punctuality.
Yes, punctuality. So I had to show up. And then, so just exactly at 5:30 our time, just congratulations, you are part of the 10 finalists. And that was very emotional. I mean, those who were, crying. I think it's on the website, what really happened around that time. And some of us were just stunned. We couldn't speak.
Were all the other 10 finalists on the call?
Yes.
How did you react?
So it was like you were just standing, just there, and like nothing could come out. When you were even called to say something, we couldn't. People were crying, or that kind of thing, and it was a shock. Like and that's when we're told that out of 100,000 applications. Initially, this is not the only award. So I thought it's just another award that you're going for, and I don't think it's a big deal, that kind of thing. But as time went on and how it goes and things, and so then I tell my husband, I said, this thing then we go and read about it. It's global. You don't see it. So, that kind of thing. For them to say out of 100,000 applicants from 190, that's when I saw how global this thing was and how big it was. And it was like, oh, God, that kind of thing. And still when reflecting and what have you, and I don't know,
So
the feeling was something else.
take us to the hall take us to Dubai, the final day itself.
Right.
So 10 finalists arrive, there's a ceremony, and then what?
So I think we arrived in 3 days before. So there was a whole line up. It was almost like, so we're told that, I think just before, we were told that it was like the Miss World for nursing.
Oh, yeah?
So I think all activities that were lined up, your attire and things that you have to go with were screened and making sure that it fits what you're going to. So then that kept me wondering, this thing is a very big thing. For it to be like the Miss World or Miss Universe for nursing, that was quite big. So we went through a whole lot of, apparently, just before then, I think there was public voting. So there was public voting. And look at Ghana. 2 people from India. Look at big India. One is maybe city or one weather view of India will be like Ghana. And there were 2 people coming from Ghana, the Philippines. And they knew about this whole thing already. And Kenya, for Africa, is Kenya. Kenya and Ghana.
What's the name of the friend that urged you to apply from Kenya?
She's Rosalind Okumu. She's also a cancer nurse specialist.
Oh, wow. Did she apply herself?
No, she didn't.
But she urged you to apply.
I think the first time when she told me about the award, she asked me also to nominate. I did nominate. So this time I said, when she called me, I said, okay, then let me also nominate you. He said, no, she has to build up her credentials. She needs to do more before.
More work, okay. God bless her. Mightily.
She didn't. But there was a Kenyan
who
was more into community service. Okay. So looking at the Kenyans have the first award in 2020 went to a Kenyan. So they knew about this award. So if it is voting, then that's a whole lot of things. So I think lots of our church also supported, Church of Pentecost. I think the leadership, Apostle Nyamiche and the team took it up. And Pentecost is in 195 countries.
That's right.
So they did their bit. We also did their bit at Ghanaians Fund and supported. But after that, there was another stage where we had to go into, to meet the grand jury, to the La Creme de la Creme in healthcare.
At that stage, what were you supposed to do? Tell about your work?
The work you've done, irrespective that you've fooled it, you have to tell them about it.
So I'm looking at your bio, and I'm seeing global faculty member for the American Society of Clinical Oncology. Charlie, you're a big woman, I'm telling you. Hey. And then co-investigator on the Global Bridges Oncology Grant. This field is something that your footprints and your handiwork is all over. But I guess it still meant that articulating it was an issue.
Yes, because you need to tell them about your journey, the impact it has made, and what you're going to use the prize money for. Because that's a project. So I had to tell them about my journey from 2001, what caused the shifts and the various impact I've made in terms of, I think the first one was instituting the first oncology nursing training in Ghana in collaboration with Cross Cancer Institute. I led it, and then also being part of the curriculum development for Ghana College of Nurses and Midwives, their postgraduate oncology nursing program. And then if we go to Africa, I had the chance of serving as the vice president for one of the premier cancer societies. That's African Organization for Training, Education in Cancer, OYOTIC. And that I was able to we saw that there was a gap in Africa in terms of specialization training. So we thought of led a group of nurse leaders in the international, both in Africa and the international, to develop competences to standardize training in Africa.
Awesome.
It has gone through the first phase. We have gone through reviews. It's just for implementation, another review and implementation. So these are some of them that for the first time was able to establish a special interest group for oncology nursing in that space. To be
You
able
speak about
to,
your advocacy.
yes, to be able to help recognize that cancer nursing as a specialty, collaborate with our international partners so that, best practices, and also for research hub, us collaborating to do a lot more. Then also then fast forward. So out of that, I was able to have other platforms, the International Society of Nurses in Cancer Care. I've been with them. I think before that, in establishing the oncology nursing program, I had an award 2016 for my impact in oncology nursing training in Ghana and beyond. And fast forward in 2022, the Ministry of Health also gave an award at the National Nursing and Midwifery Excellence Award 2022 for my impact in my impact contribution to education and research, a category both locally and internationally. So looking at all what I've done and in collaborating with our other international partners to do training. You know, breast cancer is one of the leading cancers in Ghana and also in Africa. So we collaborated with the International Society of Nurses in Cancer Care to train nurses in breast cancer or breast cancer awareness. 135 nurses in Africa, and they were to train the training program. And I must say a lot of them are helping them to train other nurses to be able to also to do the breast screening and create awareness. Recently, we trained over 48 African nurses in leadership. And we saw there's a gap in nurses are supposed to be advocates for policies. You know, in terms, as I said, they are the largest health workforce. So if you want to let a cancer policy or a policy be implemented, these are the groups that you need to support for them to know what it's about, for them to do them. But they are not part of, in terms of the development of policies. They are not seen much. We want them to, yes. So if they are involved, they will take it up and see it as their own, and so that implementation will be a bit smooth. So, but they need skills to be able to do that. So
let me move on to the award so I can explore two more things before we wrap up. So that beyond the grand jury interview or conversation, I want the emotion of the moment on the stage. How was it like?
I think as I said during the video, it was quite overwhelming. As I said, we had 10 finalists, all from the world.
Did they all get some?
Yes, they all had
some. They also get cash prizes.
No.
So the cash is only for the grant. And you were praying.
So yes, and as I said, faith. Apart from that, we have worked show forth what we said. So all that we were praying. We had a lot of support from the team, church. My husband too was wonderful. He helped me through because it was quite
mention his name.
Sir Charles Ohene-Oti was
Sir Charles.
very, yes.
Sir Charles
was very, very instrumental. He was coming with me. He had a meeting, so he couldn't make it. So it was very support because it was quite regret.
Parents.
He helped me through in terms of that.
You mentioned your dad and your mom earlier on.
Yeah. My dad, Madam Rebecca Kwele and my dad passed in 2 years ago, 2003. He's called Mr. Theophilus Kwati of blessed memory. Right. A very, very supportive.
I'm inspired by the fact that he laid this foundation in you, because it obviously has impacted you very greatly.
Yeah, it's
And it's just a good moment to celebrate his life and legacy. He actually lives on in you.
Yes, yes.
But your mom is around.
Yes, my mom is.
How does she feel about this?
Oh, it was quite overwhelming. She attests to the fact that all the work that they have done, and also, they also faith and very zealous for the Lord, and believe that all that they also have done, and God is crowning it.
Yeah.
With this and the impact.
You believe that
yes,
the work of parents can be a blessing to children?
Yes, to children.
Okay.
Because they were very selfless for that. My dad was a Sunday school teacher. Even at 80 years, was still always go to the Sunday school. And the children's service was a Presbyterian, always making sure that the teachers are doing the right teaching. And my mom is a deaconess at the Church of Pentecost, and she was the women's leader for some times. And sometimes can desert her work and just go if they have meetings. They said she will go and do for the Lord. And when she comes, within the shortest possible, selling everything, it's control. She lived it. So she saw the doing things for the Lord and the impact it will make in
Tell me
life.
What kind of person this award has made you?
Right. I think it's opened up, what I'd say, opportunities of meeting. It said meeting people just like you, being the media space, telling your story and tell what I would say, as I said, this award is for nurses, what nurses are able to do to be able to impact their world.
So you feel like an ambassador for nurses?
Yes, I feel like an ambassador for nurses, and it really an honor. And for me, I've taken it as the people that have impacted me, right from when growing up, your school, your teachers, they also have made. I remember my chemistry teacher who were playing and said, I wish I was like my teacher, no homework and nothing. And she came and she heard us and she came to know, learning does not stop until the day you die. So that always rings a bell. There was one, I think in class 4, also I was the 4th. But the class 3 teacher just came that if we were going transition to class 4, they were mentioning people's name. If you don't hear your name, go back to class 3. I was the 4th in the class and I didn't hear my name. So if you're going to get up and say you didn't hear your name, that means you're going to class 3. I didn't understand. So I had this friend, and it's been a lot. I'm really looking for her. I don't know where to find. She's called Ohene-Oti. She said, Naomi, you even did well than I did, and I'm there. Don't go anywhere. So she just shifted, and I sat by her. You're not going anywhere.
You're joking.
I'm not joking. I remember this. They said, Naomi, you're not going anywhere. You're sitting by me, as young as we are. So that would be around, so class 1 is like 9 years, 8, 9 years, maybe 8 years. So you're not going anywhere.
So you stayed in the class 4?
So I was there. I didn't have any textbook. At that time, the number of people who were in the class, the headmaster gives that number of textbooks. I didn't have it. So then the teacher left. She mentioned it 3 times. If you didn't hear your name, move. And she was looking into my direction. But I didn't move. So when I finished, I went to see the class 4 teacher. That I was 4th, but I didn't hear my name. I don't know why I should go to class 3. I shared the textbook with him and still doing well. So I went back home and told my dad that this is it. He said, yes, you stay there.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And she didn't even come to pull me out of the class. And the other teacher of class 4 fought to even get extra textbook. But it looks as if I don't know what was happening.
Will you write a book?
Maybe I
think you should. I think it should.
I need to.
I think you should.
Those all the people who were part of my life, the encouragement and things, I think also pushed that forward. There are hurdles, but sometimes I tell people that even if you get to a place and you hear people like, this person doesn't like, creating problems, for those are people who are gearing up to add knowledge to yourself. Sometimes when you are comfortable, you won't really say that you want to add. But God sometimes allow those people to create that, sometimes that mayhem for you to feel uncomfortable, for you to. So I always say that a shout out to all people far and near, people who positively or negatively, they think they're impacting my life. And that also geared me on to where I am. So this award is going for the project that we pitched was to complete the competences for African countries to use it to develop their own curriculum because there's a big gap. And then to create a program for cancer genetic counseling because the hereditary cancers and it's coming up. The test is available now. We use an example as Angelina Jolie who went to test and found that she has a gene. So she had to do a mastectomy to save her life. So this is coming up, but we need people to support them during this risk assessment. And so we're going to develop a cancer genetic program for advanced nurses and other health workers who want to also establishing a hub, an academy for nursing, cancer nursing leadership for our nurses, as I saw that there's a gap, and also a seed money for scholarship because when opportunities are created, people need to be at a certain caliber to be able to fill up those positions. But there's a gap, so we want to help, as I said, money to be able to help certain nurses to be able to realize their dreams so that when such opportunities are created, they will be able to fill in those spaces. So this is what
we need more money.
A lot of because just going 250 is not going to. So we need the support of our media partners and the philanthropists, farmer, and all to come. And so we want to, later on, we will be, just within the shortest, we will be having a public lecture about what the project is about. So all will come to be able to support.
Absolutely.
So
what's a word of encouragement to somebody who's starting their journey?
Okay, so I would say that sometimes we may think that no one is looking, no one is appreciating us. I would say that do it to the best of your knowledge. I always tell my nurses that try when you see your patient, you cannot, by virtue of what we've signed up to, nursing is a social for justice, advocating for people, irrespective of their color, irrespective of their situations. You are supposed to make sure that they get the best care that they sign up for. So we want to thank God for such an honor and also want to thank the church for their prayer and support. Apostle Nyamiche and the executives.
I think that's on behalf of all your patients, some of whom may not even know your name.
And then the Aster Garden team, Aster DM Healthcare, Dr. Azad Pen and group. Thank you very much. My grand jury, they helped to institute this award.
So on behalf of your patients who may not even remember your name, but whose lives you've touched over the 23 years of your practice, I just want to say a big thank you to you and congratulations to you. Naomi Oyoe Ohene-Oti. So let me thank our single nurse when I went to Form 1 in 79 in Fanson School, Madame Constance Odro. She had a metal syringe. Metal. Those days, it was metal syringe. And one syringe was for the whole 1,000 students. And when they give you an injection, then they will put it in hot water. The next person will come and receive their own. And Madame Constance Odro, in the dispensary, will take care of all 1,000 students.
Right.
I give a shout out to her.
School health was mainly
it was challenge. She saved our lives several times. And then let me cross over to Kolebu and salute Professor Lorna Rena at the Children's Cancer Unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. ICGC does so much with them. And we just want to say a big thank you to people like you who put your lives on the line to support people at the most vulnerable times in their lives. This has been Springboard, your virtual university, ending on a very, very thankful note with Naomi Oyoe Ohene-Oti, who won the Aster Global Award for her excellence in nursing, especially in oncology. And today's show is entirely dedicated to celebrating her work, her award, and also the future she envisages for the practice in Ghana and in Africa. This has been brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana and the Enterprise Group. We also are powered by the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Aster at Springboard. Our media partners, the Multimedia Group and the Graphic Communications Group. My name, Albert Okran, saying God bless you, and God bless you.